Coming to Hippodrome Theatre from July 24th to 26, 2025, showcasing the best in Nigerian arts, music, fashion, and investment opportunities. Whether you're looking to discover the future of real estate, explore Nigeria's culinary masterpieces, or get immersed in an electric Afrobeat performance, this is the event of the year. You can also join us for a film festival, cultural dance spectacles, and the recognition awards. Don't miss out on the business opportunities and cultural experiences waiting for you. Book your tickets now before they're gone on eventbrite.co.uk. Call or text +447 438 893 190 or 080 330 46768 or +447 459 071 747. Visit our website superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week London 2025, celebrating the best of Nigeria, is partnered with Civil Society, scaling up nutrition in Nigeria.
Yes, good morning. What a rainy morning here in Asaba, Delta State. Of course, it's Arise and Shine on SRTV. Interestingly, quite a beautiful weather for so many things to be done. Yes, news, a lot of things to talk about happening in Nigeria lately. And today we're going to be looking at a very important topic that would relate our past, present, and of course, forecast the future. We're looking at managing resources and our cultural heritage. Nigeria, what a country. I'm not alone in the studio here in Asaba. Of course, London and Abuja should be joining us. I have with me here Evelyn Choma. You're welcome to Arise and Shine this morning. Of course, Abuja is ready. London should be ready shortly. Abuja, Mary, yes, you can join us as we have Mary in Abuja. Today, we're looking at a very important topic.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, Mary. How is Abuja this morning?
Abuja is fine. Just the normal weather. Just the normal weather.
Okay, so it's everywhere. As about 28 degrees Celsius, about 57 degrees Fahrenheit this morning. Quite a nice, clement weather for a lot of things. I just hope it stays this way anyway. It's been a raining 3 weeks or more. Yes, moving forward, we're looking at managing resources and our cultural heritage. A lot of times we've been talking about our politics, our style of politics in this part of the world, which has actually been a supposed copy from the United States kind of politics and the modification with the British system of governance. In the United States, we have two political parties, and of course, the Republicans and the Democratic Party. And of course, this supposed prototype of kind of democracy will be copied. You hardly come to see the selfishness of politicians. Yes, corruption is everywhere, know that, but political prostitution is more of a profound political ideology that we have in this country, that when your political ideology is not satisfied, you jump ship to the other party. But when it comes to building an economy, Republican Party, Democratic Party, they're all consigned on the same trajectory. And it's quite difficult. There's so much continuity in governance, but here in Nigeria, we don't have all that. And of course, we're probably going to be looking at that as well. Political prostitution, cultural heritage, we always seem to bring culture and religion to divide us and instead of uniting us. Culture and religion are indices for unification purposes, but here in Nigeria, it is for division more than for unification. That's why politicians continue to use it as a caveat, as a carrot, to sway the opinions and the mindset of the gullible Nigerians for or against their selfish interests. And it's not auguring well for our democracy. We've seen a lot of, while leading ourselves into there's no true opposition into a one-party state. A lot of politicians have left their party where they were on whose platform they get elected to the different political offices they are holding, to the party in power presently, which is the APC. Quite unfortunate. You see PDP, Labour Party, ABGA, MPP, NMPP members jumping ship, and of course moving to a one-party state. The National Assembly is about having a two-third majority of the APC, and of course, in that kind of circumstances, they wouldn't have enough voice for the opposition to speak. Now, this country is blessed with resources, natural resources. Prior to independence and post-independence era, I must reference first and foremost that oil was discovered in Oloibiri in 1958. But before 1958, Nigeria was surviving upon amalgamation in 1914. Our survival was premised on the on the utilization and, of course, of the exploration of our natural resources. When we talk of natural resources and human resources here, we're talking more of the agricultural natural resources that was the epicenter of our commerce and trade with international communities pre and post independence. But since 1958, upon the discovery of oil, I mean, we began to look at a mono economy, as the case may be, and that is not right. Now, let's go back to our natural resources pre and post independence. It was such a time the different regions were known for what they were producing, and they were giving a little to the center. And governance was more like a parliamentary system of government. We had 6 geopolitical zones. We had regions, as the case may be, northeast region, southeast region. You had the Midwest region. That is now Bendel State, now Edo Delta. So the smallest region. We had the southwest region and northwest region, and all that. Now, what were they doing? They were looking inwards to try to generate money, to try to generate the economy of their regions, and at the same time, creating a market with other regions and with international communities, and earning enough revenue for sustainability. It was in the First Republic a lot of quality institutions were built, and these were money generated from the region. In the Northwest, we had the granite pyramids of Kano. What a beautiful sight to behold. Growing up as a kid, you saw the exportation of granules out of Nigeria. The pyramids were quite high, not just one like the pyramids in Egypt. You could see them. It's all over. It's all about commerce and trade. We are rearing livestock in the north then, not like unlike now that we're importing from Republic of Niger and Chad. It's come down to the southwest. We had cocoa, we had cola nut. We're exporting. Cadbury was a lot of chocolate companies were coming from the United States, were coming to Nigeria to come and get our resources and bring the refined products to us. And they sell to us. However, chocolates, Bonvita, Milo, you name, these were the times that Ovaltine, that we had a great commerce base in the southwest. We had the Nigerian Tobacco Company in Ibadan, one of the biggest tobacco companies. I don't know the status now. They were doing a lot of free. Had a lot of expatriates, or rather white men, working in Nigeria at that time. We had people, explorers, coming to explore our natural resources along line. Interfacing on commerce, leveraging on commerce with the different regions and the economies of those regions. In the Midwest, great. We had rubber. Yes, rubber. We had great supply of rubber. We had so much. We had gari. We're exporting cassava. We had gari. We equally had palm oil. And of course, I must let us know that Malaysia, they came to take palm oil seeds from Benue River Basin then, and they took it as an export base to their country. Today, at that time, we're the second highest exporter of palm oil, only after Brazil. But now Malaysia has I don't know the position we are now, but Malaysia, of course, I think they're one of the that came to take seedlings from us, and one of the biggest exporters of palm oil. Where are we? Rubber exploration and exportation was very prevalent in the Midwest then, but the youths were into rubber exploration. They were exporting rubber and all that. People were earning money, but all that has gone with the winds because of the coming of a mono economy in terms of oil. Look, go to the southeast. We had the cocoa. We had so many other crops from the southeast. The northeast had gold. West Central had gold. They were exporting foodstuffs, yams, cassava. The Jos area, Taraba area, potatoes. You just name it. We were an epicenter of production, and the economy was good, very, very good. Nigeria was a country where at that time, I must let you know, Naira had value more than the pounds and the dollars. A Naira to 1 pound, 1.1 pound, 2 shillings. That was then. The dollar, about the same equivalent. The Naira was strong. At that time, it was so cheap. People were traveling. Countries were coming to beg us. I remember that night, Britain borrowed 16,000 pounds from Nigeria at about 1959. Britain today at that time borrowed 15,000 pounds from Nigeria. And some of our big names were invited to the House of Commons to come and lecture Britons on economic emancipation. the likes of the first woman that drove a car in Nigeria, Fumilayo Ransom Kuti, the likes of Namda Zekiwe, the likes of Amedu Bello Tafawa. They are founding fathers, but they were there in the UK teaching the Britons, our colonialists, how we did it with our economy. But all that has gone with the wings. Today, we all depend on the center. Talking about federal allocation, the FAC allocation. No state is generating, no, I'm not talking of IGR. No state is into production presently in Nigeria. Exportation, no state is export. If states can annex much of the natural resources that is under their state, under the earth or around them, go into agriculture, most of them will not even need federal allocation to do what they want to do. Most of them will have their own independent power. Most of their citizens will be doing well. Most of the states will be lit up, not depending on the national grid. But because we have reduced ourselves to a beggarly nation, always going hand in mouth to request for loans from people, from nations, from donor organizations that we should even be helping, be giving our loans to. At over 300 million people, Nigeria should not lack in anything. In human capacity, in financial capacity, we should be the epicenter of Africa. Yes, the giant of Africa, so they said, but truly, are we the economic giant of Africa? A lot of indices. Is it culture? The Mungo Park anchorage. We're not annexing the power of tourism. We have the source of the river Ethiopia in Delta State. We have the site of the grave of Mungo Park here in Asaba. How much tourists have we attracted? How much tourists come to our different festivals? The Okere Juju Festival in Warri, the Calabac Festival, the Agbasa Festival, you name, and so many other festivals we have in Nigeria. The Argugun Fishing Festival, yes, that I think has a lot of attraction. The Oshun Oshobo Festival. We need to make tourism because Africa is one continent. Nigeria, especially, is one nation that has so much for history to relate to, and we are not utilizing all that. Let's start the discussion looking at the so much natural resources and where we are right now. It's how does it feel?
I just remember something. Back in the days when you talk of agriculture, we don't depend on government for anything. So I asked myself, what changed? Why is it that we are no longer like vibrant?
Evening, are you there? I think as I'm having network issues. Okay. I've been listening to what engineer said during his opening speech on the show. He talked about how even Britain came to Nigeria to borrow money. With what I've seen, I'll tell you for free that I think the problem of Nigeria started with the kind of, okay, welcome back. I think you're having network issues.
Okay.
Before. I think the problem of Nigeria started with actually the kind of leaders we had in the recently, because if you say our founding fathers, the leaders we had before, actually there was a time they were even educating the Britain, right, on how to develop their economy. So what changed, according to what Ibn was saying? What later changed? I think what later changed is at a time we began to have leaders that were so selfish, not to think about the future of the country, not to think about how their actions, right, is going to affect the country negatively. I think that was what changed. We began to have leaders that are not fit to be in a particular position. They just get there because of maybe the person they know. We began to have leaders that didn't have a clue of what they should do, that didn't know anything about economic development. And that is why over the years you begin to hear that Nigeria is a developing country. We have never been developed. Ever since I was growing up, it has been a developing country. Now, looking at the country with such kind of natural resources, and our rich culture, until today, I think we are even going down the lane. We are not even developing. I would say there's even nothing to write home about. We put so much energy in trying to bring in a leader that we still do nothing. So in the earlier stage of Nigeria as a country, we had leaders that could help, that could make us understand that saying that Nigeria is a rich country, we have money, we could see it then. But right now, I think it's now beginning to bring doubts in us that this country is it really rich? Do we really have money and natural resources? Are there things that we could actually make money from? What could be the problem? But I think I would say what has really happened and what could have been the problem is bad governance. Over the years, we've had bad leaders that could not manage what we have. They could not help us to manage our resources, to bring out the best, to make us make more money. Rather, we began to see ourselves that we've been in debt. We've been in debt and finding it even so difficult to pay. You can imagine a country that could borrow people money right now. We are now in a deep debt and we find it difficult to pay. Yet we have leaders that are looting money, that are spending money on unnecessary things. So if you ask me what went wrong, what went wrong is this proper planning. They had no plans of what they should do when they get there, and that is the problem we have. I think we'll begin to see how we can actually work on having people that have ideas, that have visions. You understand? Nigeria definitely will get back or will go back to how we used to be, because it looks as if we cannot go back to the Nigeria we used to know. We cannot go back to the good country that own resources, right? We cannot go back to the good country that could borrow people money, that could develop in the economy. You understand? Whereas we are good, we have agriculture. Even if today we know that insecurity has been one problem with agriculture, people cannot really go to the farm, people cannot really do much because of insecurity issues. But it cannot stop the fact that when you talk about agriculture, Nigeria, we have a whole lot of them to even make money from, to even export from, to make more money from. Like what engineer said before, look at the palm oil. We don't even know the number we are right now when it comes to palm oil. You understand? It is something we have here. It is something we could make money from. Even in Port Harcourt, the fish they had there, they can make money from it. You understand? It's not like maybe Nigerians are lazy as a Nigerian, or we don't
Very,
have interest
very
working. We don't have ourselves.
hardship has made Nigerians lazy.
You said,
Hardship, because with what I said, hardship has made Nigeria lazy. Because with what I was saying earlier,
are they really
back in the
lazy?
days, we were not
Nigerians,
depending
are
on
they
waiting
really?
on the
Nigerians are
government.
not lazy. I think the problem is
Everyone has everyone has had like a yam ban as at then. In like agriculture, everything was going smoothly, but these days it seems we just want the government to do everything. Without the government's aid, we are just lazy because, and I would say hardship, because at then engineers talked about the dollar rate. Everything was going well. Yeah, there were funds and everything, but now it seems it's so hard on everyone. So no one can go to farm anymore. And with the country, look at the security. There is poor security in Nigeria. So how do you even expect people to even farm? Things has changed. I would speak and like dedicate today that we are forgetting our cultural heritage. We are actually forgetting. We are forgetting it. Yes, I will say that because there are a lot of things we're actually doing without the aid of the government as at then. Why are we not doing it now? You go to the villages, people are no longer farming like before.
Yes,
There is hunger even in our village. There's hunger in the village. Why?
which is not supposed to
It's
be.
not supposed to be so.
and village used to be a place where people, when you go, you are sure of having a lot of food.
Bring packing food.
The
Not
only
coming
thing is,
back.
as someone coming from the city, you might not have that energy like them to farm. You might not have that energy like them to go and harvest things from the farm. But you are sure of enough
That's
food.
what I'm saying. If you are hungry in the city, the place you will have hope to feed,
Is
even
the
though you don't
village.
have money, is in the village. But go
But
to
then,
the village now, they are hungry over there.
but the truth, a lot of people they are living the villages. Everybody wants to come to the city, and do white collar jobs, do jobs that would give them
And the jobs are not
business
there.
And everybody wants to come and ride keke, everyone wants to come and ride bike, and it's strange because it's a tough one, no doubt. Like Evelyn referenced, the level of insecurity does no longer encourage people to go to the farms. Insecurity is on the very high side. I mean, kidnapping. I never thought 10 years ago, if you had told me that Nigeria is going to get to this level, what we were scared of is armed robbery, not robbers coming to raid banks, but not kidnapping human beings as human sheep, not the kind of one chance we hear or see in Abuja, most especially. I mean, because you want to three people enter a cab, you kidnap a fourth person and still kill him or her after taking their money or using your POS. I mean, these things were alien to us. These are cultures, these are failures of leadership that have, I mean, as cities emerge, crime does increase as well. But the government
that
is
even
not
this
putting.
one chance that looks so difficult here in Abuja, that it can still be stopped. But our leaders still want to stop it. That it can still be stopped.
Yeah,
Why?
Mary, there's nothing that cannot be stopped. The willpower, the political will. Did they not put CCTV cameras all over Abuja at the time? And some people looted. We have citizen issues. We have citizen problems too.
We are all problems.
We have our own problems. We have citizen problems. You see manholes on drainages being taken away by citizens. We can't apportion all the blame to government alone. We are part of the problem. I mean, it's a collective responsibility to build and rebuild this country. Even if the government is failing, we should bring it to their notice that they are failing, bring it to their realization. Because the wealthy man does not know what his mega that is guiding is going through, does not know what his cook is going through. They just, in the euphoria of their city room, their big friends come, everybody is smiling, they're drinking, popping champagne. But when these guys are not happy, it is not safe for you. Even when you send your children abroad, except they won't come back home. I mean, let's not breed a society that will become a menace to us, to our children and children's children. I would love to live in Nigeria that my children will be proud of, that your children will be proud of, that will be peaceful in Nigeria, that we have justice in Nigeria, that we have reduced crime rate, but you can't totally eradicate crime no matter the society. In Nigeria, that you can move anytime without fear of favor. In Nigeria, where the institutions are strong and not weak. In Nigeria, where things are working. I mean, in Nigeria, where we will not be borrowing, rather we'll be a lender nation. We'll be exporting things. In Nigeria, where production, let me tell you something. Aba, it's strange that we have a production city like Aba and it's been left like that. Aba should be, most of the Italian shoes, British shoes that you people think you buy, that they see made in Italy, they were made in Aba. Since you have refused to buy made in Nigerian goods, they have gotten to interpose made in UK with the same quality, and you buy it at that same price. You now see what we like. We like fragrant lifestyle in this part of the world. We hate to help develop our own. We have seen a lot of innovators on national television, on Newsline, on newspaper, on social media, asking for sponsors. Nigerians that build planes, that build helicopters, that build cars, that are controlled with remotes, that are asking for sponsors. If they were whites, I mean, they could have been something else. If they were Chinese, if they were Japanese, the government could have tapped into that talent. But yeah, we don't do all that. We are so concerned about the most important talent. We don't value our own.
Because if you should say this plane is made here in Nigeria, nobody
want to enter. Look at Innoson Motors now. Instead of government to emphasize that all government should be buying Innoson Jeeps, Innoson trucks, and all that indigenous products, but we say no, we still prefer to buy Toyota, which is almost 2 or 3 times as expensive as Innoson. So you see, we have, and if something is an Igbo man that did it, no, I'm not going to patronize it. We have this ethnic mindset about things in this country, and it limits our scope of reasoning. It limits our sense of responsibility to the Nigerian nationhood. When you say, because this thing was done by Yoruba man, because it was done by Igbo man, because it was done by Hausa man, you're not going to buy it, or it is fake. You start to promote propaganda on social media, on the pages of print and electronic media. You are debasing Nigeria. You're not debasing that Igbo man. You are debasing the entire Nigeria. Everybody will look at it that Nigeria is the way we are projecting it. So we need a total re-evaluation of our thought trajectory so that we can come to terms with the fact that if we must build this country, if we must annex the human and natural resources we have to improve our capital resources. I mean, we need to unite beyond ethnic and religious lines. We need to build a country together, devoid of whether I'm Igbo, Hausa, or Yoruba, TV, Fulani, Urobo, Isoko, you name it. We should throw that to the dogs.
This ethnic crisis has been going on for a very long time, and not just that, we also have religious crisis. I don't want to mention the Christian, the Muslim, and all that. We don't just believe in ourselves because there is diversity in our religion, in our culture, various culture, and all that. And me saying we are our own problem, you spoke about the Abba. Who gave it that name? Like, these people, they produce fake and all that.
Yes.
We gave it that name. We made people lose value in the things they produce over there. Whenever you say I bought this from Abba, they say, you've got to buy cheap and fake products.
Fake products.
So how can we reset our mind, erase this bad omen that is robbing us of the good look? The outside world cannot even look at us and say, okay, they should appreciate us for anything at all. And like Daddy K was saying yesterday, what are we producing? These people does not even have hope in this country, because if we should present what we produce in this country, aside oil, what else are we producing?
Corruption.
Corruption. That is what we are known for. When you mention I'm a Nigerian, I've met so many people, foreigners. When they ask me, where are you from? I say, I'm from Nigeria. The next thing, they block me. That name, I don't know how we're going to erase it. I don't know how we're going to erase it. They don't even want us in their country anymore. They've tightened their visa policies because of the name they've given to Nigeria. And who gave us that name? We ourselves. We gave ourselves that name.
That's true.
Yeah, it's true. We give ourselves that name because if we don't expose what is happening indoors, how will the outside world know what is going on? True. So I don't know if we really want to progress as Nigerians. I think we should start by replacing what we've lost inside before we can actually be able to clear off that bad name that is following us everywhere we go. Not to talk about how we live, the ones leaving the country and not coming back to invest. We have so many problems in Nigeria that need to be solved. So many problems. Because if you should bring all Nigerians that are outside the country back home, I think they will make a big change in Nigeria. Those that have gone to study out there, they can bring their knowledge back home.
It's not about bringing them. They would love to, but how guaranteed? What's of? They won't even come. You just imagine you in the UK now.
Our country be a better place. If you go and don't want to come, you don't want to invest in your own country.
Invest in an environment.
You don't understand something. This is it. There are a lot of things we cry that the government, they are not doing for us, that they need to do. But the engineer said something right now. Do you know that even if you put CCTV camera on the street, on the road of everywhere in Nigeria here, so that if you do anything, they will see you, they will still go there and remove it. They will go there, room full of them, so that you will not have it. That's the development. We Nigerians. Let me tell you, if we have had it,
why will you just put it there and you won't have a control room where people watch it?
Even there, when they have it, people will still go and steal.
We don't have patrol officers. Nothing.
You think Nigeria is US that work 24 hours non-stop?
Exactly.
It's 24-hour state country that work non-stop. Is that how many security do you put in places to work here in Nigeria that don't sleep? They don't get it. In fact, 2 p.m. they are all asleep. 1 a.m. they are all asleep. 2 a.m. they are all asleep. I don't think we have that kind of capacity. But what I'm trying to say is, even if the government to some extent brings some development that we crave for, at the end of the day, the citizens will still spoil it. Common wire on the pole, on the road, you still see people will go there and remove it. There is nothing these people don't do, especially these scavengers. There's nothing they don't do here in Nigeria. But we are crying that the government. I know that on the other hand, the government.
Why are they doing that? Because they are
we have a lot of Nigerians. We have a lot of, even you're talking about they are hungry. Is there enough reason for this high rate of crime? that we are suffering in this country, because at the end of the day, we sit back here and apportion all the blames on the government. What about we Nigerians? What have we done on our own side for the betterment of the country? Rather, we try to destroy more and more. Yes, they use it as example that, or they use it as a cover up that the reason why we have one chance killing people everywhere here in Abuja is because of lack of job. But let's take for example, you've collected somebody's phone and money, you still kill the person. It's still because of poverty. So it's poverty that led you to kill the person. Is it lack of job
Thank
opportunity that made you to kill someone?
Mary,
You've collected what the
before you
person
continue,
had. Why do you still kill
let
the
me
person? Wickedness.
Mary, let me not forget before you continue. You're talking of one. Now the person doing the one chance, they use car.
Yes.
So will you tell me that is it because of poverty? Can't he use that car to be running cab?
And
Legit
things
car
are
instead of
difficult
trying
though.
to do some-
Engineer, and things are difficult. Spoiling the other innocent people that are taxi drivers. Spoiling them. Most times you see
Yeah,
that
exactly.
these are people that even not even young boys, old people. You see that the driver is an old man. Then they mix up with female and male. So the female, my fellow gender, that sits down there as part of their member. What does that one mean? Poverty.
I ask you, is that poverty?
They're
Can't that
talking
person
about
go and fry a
no
car?
job, no
They are
job.
looking
You know that there
for
are people
people-
in Nigeria that did not go to school, that did not learn a skill. Tomorrow they open their mouth to say no job. You did not even go to school, you did not learn a skill. For which magic to happen? Is there a way to put in that even the government start sharing money house to house? It will not keep poverty, it will not stop poverty. Because you need to do
It
something
will
for
not.
yourself. To earn money.
It will
How
not.
much will they be giving you? They should go door to door and start sharing money. Let's see if poverty will end in Nigeria. Even the UK government, they don't do that. A lot of people here in Nigeria don't have skill. They did not learn any work. They did not go to any school. They just sit back in the house expecting miracles. If they call you for a job, what can you do? Is there any certificate? No. If they call you for a skill work, do you have any skill? No. Let's begin to even understand the fact that there are still people that have this nonchalant attitude towards their own betterment, towards bettering their own life. And that is why the rate of poverty, it will be very difficult to end in Nigeria. It's very difficult to stop. I know that we have thousands of people that actually went to school, that are skillful, that do not have a job, or that are still jobless. But you cannot compare it to those that have nothing at all. I know what I'm saying. You see people use crime as an example, as an excuse for destroying each other. And we come out to say there's no money because of things that are difficult. The only thing we know how to do is just to blame the government. I know that on the other part, the government, they are not even trying. They are not helping matters. And that is why
They are really
the
not.
whole situation of the country is getting worse. But on the other hand, we cannot stop to still blame Nigerians for their own negative impacts in the country. Because we kill
Quite
ourselves, we
unfortunate,
destroy
Mary, but
ourselves.
I think
There are things that we do that the government cannot help us. They cannot help us with. The government, there are things they cannot help us with. You know, somebody was saying that there's a way they can still do the whole taxi vehicles, that they can actually make it maybe a particular park. You know, there's one thing that, you know, if you've been in Abuja, you understand that we really do not have much park here in Abuja. Oh. Most of the things we have is along. You just see motor on the road, you enter. It's just by God's grace. Most times it's motor you see on the road, you just enter. There's nothing like a park. You understand that you see in the streets of Abuja. Fine. Then but they have this Abuja color, I think green, white is green of their taxi. So why allow people that don't have that particular color of taxi to still run on the streets? That is why you cannot differentiate it. The people without green, white, with that few. The people with that color of taxi, engineer, they are like very few compared to the normal one that run on the road. So why can't you have a color code? I know, like in Asaba, when I was there, I could notice something. I think blue, white, and it was much.
blue and white. Yes.
Even the keke there. It's so I don't know if there's one chance in Asaba. I think it should be rare, because you could see the taxi, the vehicle they use. So you can decide not to enter the ordinary one you see. You can decide to enter those ones with the Asaba color. We don't even have that in Abuja. We just have fear of it. And everybody's on the street running taxi. And that is why they kill people. They kill people. So are we going to say that is it difficult for the government to do it like that? Register. If you want to run a taxi in Abuja, make sure your vehicle is registered.
And it will earn the government some revenue.
Yes, if anything happens, we know that we can trace the vehicle that killed this person. We can trace the vehicle that killed this particular person.
Like
even if they cannot
how they were able
that
to
green and white, can they register all of them? Is it every vehicle that will be running on the streets? Look at a girl that went to work because she closed 8 p.m. and they carried that, demanding the ransom of 1 million. It's someone that is working on the fuel station, and how much is she earning? She could not provide the one, and they were begging for 500,000. And the next thing they said is that's the last time the mom we heard from her, and they ended the call. The next thing they could see was her dead body on the streets. They already killed the young girl. Why? Because she went to work. Now tell me, they will never be able to trace that vehicle. They cannot trace those people. Do you have any information to trace them with? Are you even sure the vehicle is registered? Registered for where? All these things are things we need to start putting much energy on instead of fixing the good road for them. We are fixing road for them to go and be killing people on. Because at least the road is bad. They will not be able to drive freely on the way with speed, take people to bush and kill them. Before we fix the road, let's fix how the road can be used though. To proper use.
Sometimes they push them out of the vehicle.
If you're in Abuja, you've not had that experience. That means you're not in Abuja. How many experiences, even when I was coming to work, that I've had? It's so bad.
If not for Wike's protection, only God knows where you would have been. Maybe.
You are joking. Does Wike know me? Does even know I exist?
Maybe you know these people, even the armed robber with gun, they are still scared of their life going to rob. You know that these people that are doing bad things, they still have fear in them.
Evelyn, Nigerian people should tell me, is it difficult that everybody could have run in Abuja should be registered so that if anything happens, they can trace it? Is it difficult that they have a particular color code for if you don't have this color code? The color code means you are registered. Is it difficult to be done? What I'm telling you, a day in Abuja, 3 deaths recorded for one chance. In one place.
In one day.
In one day. The other one was a Ghana embassy staff, although she's a Ghanaian working in Ghana embassy in Nigeria.
It doesn't mean. I saw all of
so
them.
You think people of Ghana will be happy? You think people of Ghana will be happy that they sent their own person to come and work here, and the person they killed the person because of one chance. Forget
how much
their hearts. As I say, people should not come. That the place is not safe. Insecurity, and we are complaining. Trump said United States people should mind the way they visit Nigeria. It's not safe. Someone that came from Ghana, did she not die? Is it wrong? We are there condemning him on his social media, but is it wrong?
We're just giving ourselves bad names. If they should even start this registration, how credible will it be? You still see people in the registration office doing illegal.
Well, however, I think they can handle that registration because I will give them the Delta State prototype. The kekes are all registered. All you just have to is not the plate number, just copy the number on the keke. The person, all the keke riders in Delta State have ID card. They have their identity, their pro forma in the Ministry of Transport. They have a commercial motorcycle and tricycle operators association, Contour, who manages them, and they have a task force that does what should have been done in Abuja, checking. They're still checking the SSs of keke riders. You cannot ride keke in Delta State if you are not registered with the union.
That's in
you
Abuja.
Cannot.
Just by
You cannot ride. No, because they have a number. We have over 20,000 registered kekes in Delta State. All of them are registered. They have their passport. They all have ID card. They are all under National Health Insurance, Delta State Health Insurance Scheme. So if they can, sick, they can go to hospital and take treatment. Now, above all this, it helps improve security. That's how they've been able to catch. We have one chance keke thieves in Nasabaye, but most times they are caught. And when these task force are on the road, they know the ones that are registered and the ones that are not registered. Once you are not registered, they will see that you are impounded and straight to their office in the secretariat. So there's organized. I think the Ministry of Transport, under the auspices of the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, should. I've not heard any pronouncement from the Minister of FCT. I've not heard any pronouncement for the Commissioner of Police in FCT. Especially last 2 weeks or so, or last week, when these 3 people died on the same day, there was no policy statement. Are they telling me at a state capital, if this was Washington, D.C. or London, It has happened once, it happened twice. Won't you have patrol policemen going around, or positioning to?
They didn't say anything. The way they acted like they didn't see the news. Yeah. But just insult any of them.
Did like deaf and dumb.
They will see the news. Insult any of them. That's how you know that they see news. Something that even Naira Land carried. It's everywhere. Everywhere. Daily Trust. All the newspapers. It's there. These people, they saw it and kept quiet. All the time that launchers have been killing people here in Abuja. Even the one you just come and see somebody's body on the floor. Nobody said anything about it. So then why would they continue? Really they really see that our government don't even care.
They don't seem to care because they are more concerned about 2027.
Have
you seen them? It has become a norm. The PDP has had is preparing its convention to be held in Ibadan. The APC, they had theirs in Aso Rock, and now the president they've gotten a new chairman. Now, if we have a sensitive leadership at all levels, during the convention, I expected that during the course of opening prayers or whatever, if they pray, they should at least observe a minute silence for the so many people that Nigeria has killed. I say Nigeria has killed because Nigeria actually did it. We failed leadership, insecurity thrived, and we've lost a lot of souls. The government, I expect, even if they're having their convention should center its, besides leadership resolution, they should look at how to help curb the excesses of insecurity in Nigeria. It should be because nobody is safe. They don't understand why they're building a monster for the next generation. The so-called children they are sending to abroad to go and school, killing our educational system here. When it's graduation time, they will go abroad, graduate with their kids, post it on social media for us to see. The same people that run away for medical tourism abroad. Meanwhile, every year they budget billions, hundreds of billions of naira for the health sector and the education sector. Nothing is done. We are creating a Nigeria that will be monstrous for the next generation.
The one that is even eating.
Children will not be able to come back here.
How comes you see the police in all these junctions only during the daytime? And anything from 8 p.m., they are nowhere to be found. They don't even stay in the night. So is it that their job is only during the daytime?
Are you serious?
Yes, now. Only during the daytime when there's still lights, when there's still broad daylight. Once it's getting dark, they move. At least I know of that one. Once it's getting anything 8 p.m. now, you will not see them. All the time I've stayed in this office and anything that made me stay late in this office, I know that I will not see them again. You will never see them in any of this junction. So they only come during this period now that everywhere is bright. Just enter road by 8 p.m. You will not see them. The only place you can see some of them is where we have street light, like in the open place. Not in anywhere to come and get anybody. And it's even few safe. They are not there. They are not there.
It's like that all over the country. It's like that all over the country. A situation where you have a police force that is about 250,000 and you have about 150,000 of those policemen guiding the elites in the society, the politicians, the CEOs, the businessmen, the Yahoo boys, the corrupt thieves,
and the rest of them,
and the rest of the expatriates. Then your dad said doing roadblock. What do you expect in a society where they lack organizational leadership?
People will not have complete papers. They'll say, "Let me just wait. Let's not enter road first. Anything from that kind of 7 times, police don't come out to go enter road. Imagine." So you that is checking papers, whether the car was stolen or not, they now know that you will not be there on Saturday. Funny enough, on Saturday you will not even see them. Both of those VIO people, you will not see them on Saturday. On Saturday they are on break. Nigeria. That's why I say we are not a 24-hour working country. We say we are working 24 hours is a lie. We are not a 24 hours working country. Because even our forces, they like
that. They work. Let me understand something. Mary, they work the way we work, 9 to 5 or 9 to 4. they see themselves as public servants. They close 9 to 4. Unless you have you want to come and hire them to go and make an arrest or to go and intimidate somebody. So we need transformational mindset. We need to transform the minds of our people. Or how do you tell me we have an immigration service that has made our borders more porous? We have over 2 million illegal immigrants in this country. 2 million. Centered all over northwest, southeast region. Some coming from Cameroon, southwest. We have over 2 million. Is it Beninese? Is it Togolese? Is it Chadians? Is it Nigerians? Is it Cameroonians?
No, it's not good for us to check their documents, if they are okay to be in the country. We are not.
Majority of them don't even have passports. We don't. It's they don't even have passports.
And some
of these crimes are not even committed by Nigerians. Those
everybody. I mean, Nigeria has turned into a country of survival of the fittest, and survival of the fittest. It creates a template where anybody's life can be expendable. So if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you can pay with the price, or you can pay the supreme price.
Because someone that is not even from Nigeria, if they want to even kill, they will not even care, because you are not even from the same country with them. They only came here to survive. Have no emotions.
Now, even the killers, even the ones that are Nigerians, they can't even catch them. Then you see someone that is not a Nigerian doesn't have an identity that the Nigerian police want.
These people,
they don't have homes.
They come in and they come into a country that does not even have jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you expect them to do?
With the earlier, because of the way we blow the
Who sent them to come into the country? Anybody else?
The giant of Africa, Mary, giant of Africa. So let us go and see the giant of Africa. When you say somewhere is the giant of Africa, meaning they have everything. We have the resources. So they come in with the mindset of getting something to do. When they get here, they don't see the jobs. And they start doing these evil things. They start kidnapping, robbing people. They will have hideouts. Some of them will come into the country armed. I don't know how they manage to cross the border. I don't even know how they manage.
We have immigration. And meanwhile, when people that are doing legit jobs want to travel to sell their goods, you start taxing them. You start frustrating them.
When you're an immigration officer, they are busy packing rice from people. All of them, they have bags of rice in their house. Packing rice
sending to their wife's shop to be sold.
Yes,
we have a system failure. Now let's look at
bags of rice, collecting cars.
Yes, selling to themselves, auctioning to themselves.
These people are not even doing their jobs, because how do these people come into the country armed with these machines? I'll call them machines because at the time they reported the news that these people, what they are carrying is even more than what our own police and all that is carrying. Because when they are coming in, they just ask questions without checking, without using their hands.
About the bribe
they ask, what is in this bag? What is in this bag? I've gone through the border. I know how they do their work. They don't know what is in this bag. You just have to tell them, hey, it's closed. This woman closed inside. They'll say, hey, oh yeah, go. They don't even use their hand to check, to say, okay, bring the bags out. I want to see what's inside. Because I keep wondering, how do these people come into the country with this with these amenities, not knowing that, I would say not knowing, because it is sure that we are not working. Our security, we are not working. We are not doing our job. We don't check, because when you want to travel from here to another state, we see the roadblock. All they care about is to stress hand. Oh yeah, your 100 naira before you pass, 200 before you pass. When I was going to Enugu the last time, we saw more than 20 roadblocks.
It's too much in the east.
Before,
it's too much.
I don't. It's so annoying that I'm short of words.
From this, you will come down. You will come down for your bike and trek and pass that checkpoints. I was not like, no, in the east only. Thank God I'm not even there. Even though I'm from there, it's too much. It's very, very annoying.
And when you don't bring out this money, they'll ask you to pack
and waste your time.
They'll waste your time. They want you to pack until you release that money before you can move.
Now, when we look at all these vices that we have talked about, while both of you were talking, I was just brooding. Most of these vices could have been reduced if the government was working. If we were annexing the natural resources embedded in our different states. If, for example, Kano State went back to growing granules, tomatoes, pepper, ginger, garlic, and were exporting like they were exporting in the first pre-independence, post-independence, and before the Civil War. If Kaduna State and Katsina State now, we are growing cotton. There was a time we were exporting cotton. It was at that time that Kaduna State had so many textile factories. The former governor of Edo State, Senator Adams Oshiomhole, was a tailor in Kaduna State. Why? Because there was so much cotton factories there, textile factories, as a result of a natural resource, which is cotton. Then it was Katsina was under Kaduna. And the truth was, they were exporting cotton out of Nigeria at that time. The pyramids in Kano, the granite pyramids, were exporting granite to every part of West Africa, Africa and beyond. Come to Niger State. Niger State had a lot of gold deposits. They equally have sorghum. They have millet, maize that were exported then. So much of it, also in Kwara State. They equally had livestock, all these states. They had livestock. We're not importing livestock from Niger or Chad. We are rather exporting. We had enough food resource. They had mangoes in the north. A lot of you will be surprised. In Niger State, that people come to one tree, they'll price it by tree. They'll pluck everything like that. People come to buy and export mangoes to the south. The whole of Southwest, the culture, and that was when we had cash crops in agriculture. I don't know whether they still do it now. This generation might not know what is cash crop and food crops, because in our curriculum we have lost it and we have thrown history away. The cash crops were those crops that were exportable, that were exported for revenue. And that was the class that the likes of the granite was, the cotton, gold, millet, sorghum. We're using breweries were coming to buy sorghum. Nigerian breweries and other breweries, Guinness, they were buying sorghum from the north. It's used millet, they were using it to brew. You know, you equally used to brew local brew, burukutu and all that. But they're using it to brew beer. We didn't need to import any of this. In the Southwest, we had cocoa. In fact, most of the millionaires in the Southwest were cocoa farmers then. Cocoa and kola nut farmers. And they had farm hands, 2,000 people working in your farm cocoa plantation, in your kola nut plantation. If we had all these jobs, most of these miscreants would be working in farms and earning far more honorable wages. We export kola nuts. We export cocoa. We bring the finished products. Chocolates, that time, that's when you had Kingsway. Chocolates was cheap because cocoa was, and Cadbury, you name it, they were bringing these things in. They buy cocoa from us. Lagos was strictly the business hub, the epicenter of business, the commercial nerve center of Nigeria then. When I'm just talking about the cash crop, the exportable crop is what I'm talking about now. They were growing every other thing. In the just climate, Nasarawa, just Taraba State, is it Irish potato? Is it all the vegetables?
Was it government fried rice? Like, was it government driven or just the people?
It was government driven. It was government driven. Government had agencies that were controlling this. Ministry of Agri was working then. And because of that government has a plantation, a cocoa plantation, does not mean me, an individual, cannot have a cocoa plantation. Individuals had plantations too. I said, most of the millionaires in the South were cocoa farmers. Most of the millionaires in the north were into commerce, buying and selling.
That's what changed.
I will change gradually. Let me continue. Now in the Midwest, then Bendel State, now Edo Delta, we were known for rubber, palm oil, palm kernel. Even that palm kernel pomade, they were selling, they were exporting. Palm oil, ogbono, was mostly from the South, Midwest and Southeast. These were export vegetables, green pepper, lettuce, Irish potato. We had more than enough for internal usage, and we have more than enough for exportation. And people had jobs because we have farm hands. that were working. Companies were buying some of these to produce end products. We had tomato plantations that were buying a lot of tomatoes from the north. Benue was known for yam. The southeast was known for yam. Besides cocoa and coal, that we were using most of our locomotive engines. Then we didn't have fast trains, but we had more of locomotive engines. We are coal driven. When you enter train, they were coal driven, locomotive, coal driven. For you to be working in the coal mine in Enugu, we had white men working for the benefit of doubt. Most of all these farms I'm even calling white men were working as supervisors, as technical aides, as farm whatever in cocoa many the coal mines. You had a lot of expatriates as an indigenous or a worker in that company. You were ending big. You were like you oil worker.
Engineer, can you hear me? I think somebody having network challenge right now. Okay, I don't know, but it's really sad that Nigeria, that is being called the giants of Africa, every day we struggle to see how we can meet up from what we already had. It's a problem. Okay, welcome back. I wasn't hearing anything. I think
I
because of
think we have
network
some
issue.
technical issues. Now, when you look at all these, at that time, our population was about 20-something million. We're growing to about 50 million. There was love amongst us. If you had listened, I will come back to what I was saying, but if you had listened to the likes of Ahmed Bello speak, Nnamdi Azikiwe speak, Tafawa Balewa speak, Awolowo speak, Michael Okpara speak. These were not regional leaders. These were national leaders. They never spoke along ethnic lines or religious lines or cultural lines or tribal lines. They spoke for the unification of one Nigeria. They spoke as Nigerians. But the coup of January 16, 1966 and the counter coup of July in 1967 to 1970 Civil War spoilt the bonds that held us together. Post Civil War, tribalism started coming into the country's leadership. The Igbos were seen as dissidents. Most of them lost their jobs in high positions in public service and in the military. We lost focus because then was the oil boom. And General Yakubu Gowon said that we have more money that we can spend. Can you imagine a Nigeria that had more money than it could spend? The naira and the dollar was begging the naira. The pound was begging the naira. It was the oil boom. We discovered oil in Ilobre in 1958. Ilobre. Commercial production then started in Owerri, Port Harcourt, and Delta in post-independence, and the boom actually was in the 70s. We're selling oil. At the moment that boom started, we became lazy as a people. The government became lazy. The people became lazy. Politics began to thrive.
Government became greedy.
and greedy and selfish. Politics became a career, not a call to serve anymore, like our founding fathers were. Everybody saw it as business, an avenue for looting. The military saw it as business. The civilians saw it as business. And that was when coups and counter coups started coming and all that. Well, we lost it because we had a diversion from a multi-economy to a mono-economy. A multi-economy was agriculture and natural resource based. A mono-economy was singularly based on oil. And oil has a lifespan. Now, if we're a serious country, look at the amount of natural gas that we're wasting. In the flaring of oil, those gas could be used as compressed gas and converted to something that is of value to run our turbines, to help generate electricity. A country where leadership is thriving on the head of the followership. But Nigeria is redeemable as you and I continue to speak, because I'm not happy. Our resources. Each state should be able to export what it has. And let me tell you something. If a state goes into production, for example, of agricultural produce, to crash the price of goods and services. Now, what will happen? The market women will create competition from the middle. We take oppression or economic oppression from the middlemen. Market women will now have a direct source. They can go to, let's go to government farm and buy. Let's go to this and buy. Or let's go to Ministry of Agric and buy. It will be cheaper. And when you have more supply than demand, supply determines the price of goods and services. It will crash the price. But with the high cost of transportation and all that, prices of goods and services, especially foodstuff, will continue to be high. We don't have any business buying local rice for more than 10,000, 15,000 a bag. And it's not that we can't even do clean rice. We can. Some of these Abakaliki rice are the ones that are rebagged for us to be foreign rice. And people buy it because you like acronym. We like, if it's not foreign, it's not foreign. But they will give you what you want. But when we try continue, moment we say we want to be indigenous, we have the rice that is at par with local rice, with foreign rice. Basket of tomatoes, small basket now is 30,000. A bucket of tomatoes, 10,000. In a country where we grow tomatoes, a tuber of yam, a tuber of family size yam, 4,000, 5,000.
I'm just wondering, people that have so many
potato,
children,
18,000, 20,000.
People with so many children, how do they survive in this period? Hey.
Look at
tomatoes is perishable and we don't even have light. These people don't have light to preserve it. So it will become expensive. What would they do?
Mary, if we continue talking, we'll cry. Let's go on a break, then we'll come back, we'll do paper.
Yeah, you're right.
Nigeria Week London 2025. It's time to celebrate the pulse of Africa's most exciting nation. It's coming to Hippodrome Theatre from July 24th to 26th, 2025, showcasing the best in Nigerian arts, music,
Get ready, London. Nigeria Week 2025 kicks off July 24th at the Hippodrome Theatre. Celebrate the giants of Africa. As the DG of the National Orientation Agency hits us with what makes Nigeria the true giants of the continent. Day 1 starts with a star-studded opening ceremony as we greet to Scobie, Marvin, Boyson, and HP Zendo. Then, the UK Nigerian Creative Summit. Hear from Nollywood legend Zep Ejiro, NBC DG on broadcast rules, and Film London on filming in London, and the British Film Institute on funding and distribution opportunities. Dive into panel and co-production and funding discussions and skill exchange with Middlesex University. Cap the night with a special screening of Zep Ejiro's Sako.
Nigeria Week London 2025. It's time to celebrate the pulse of Africa's most exciting nation. It's coming to Hippodrome Theatre from July 24th to 26th, 2025, showcasing the best in Nigerian arts, music, fashion, and investment opportunities. Whether you're looking to discover the future of real estate, explore Nigeria's culinary masterpieces, or get immersed in an electric Afrobeat performance, this is the event of the year. You can also join us for a film festival, cultural dance spectacles, and the recognition awards. Don't miss out on the business opportunities and cultural experiences waiting for you. Book your tickets now before they're gone on eventbrite.co.uk. Call or text +447 438 893 190 or 080 330 46.
Get ready, London. Nigeria Week 2025 kicks off July 24th at the Hippodrome Theatre. Celebrate the giants of Africa. As the DG of the National Orientation Agency hits us with what makes Nigeria the true giants of the continent. Day 1 starts with a star-studded opening ceremony as we groove to Scope, Marvin, Boyson, and HP Zendo. Then, the UK Nigerian Creative Summit. Hear from Nollywood legend Zeb Ejiro, NBC DG on broadcast rules, and Film London on filming in London, and the British Film Institute on funding and distribution opportunities. Dive into panel and co-production and funding discussions and skill exchange with Middlesex University. Cap the night with a special screening of Zeb Ejiro's Sakobi.
Angela is not who you think she is. She's a demon who dies first.
It is a Nollywood Magic Nigerian Week London 2025, where culture meets business. Tickets at eventbrite.com. The best of the best, July 24th.
Welcome back,
Yes,
Julia.
it's good to be back, Mary.
Okay, let me remove the paper first. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Tomorrow is Nigeria Week. Wow. I mean, and Chris is here. He will have still bring us more about it. Tomorrow is the D-Day. So, engineer, I believe you will just sit down with your bottle of Coke or bottle of beer to just be watching the live streaming of Nigerian Week.
I should be in Abuja tomorrow. I'll be with you. I will watch it together.
They say we should be on
Serious?
our traditional attire.
Green, white, green.
We should be on our traditional attire.
How will you be in Abuja? Are you coming after the show?
Immediately after, I might come before the show. I can do from Abuja. I'm just looking at it, but it depends on the flight. If it's convenient, maybe before the show, so that I would hook up in Abuja.
Don't listen to engineer. Oh, don't listen to engineer. That is how he told that the K yesterday that they didn't give him visa. He wanted to
I would
go
have
to
been in
London.
London. But next year, we're all going to be in Nigerian show in London. Hopefully, we're all going to be there.
Yes.
Next year, by His grace.
You sponsor us.
Is that right?
That's not a problem.
So, I mean, we'll just be watching it tomorrow after the morning show. That's why we just have to maybe finish the morning show on time, sit back, relax, and watch the program. It's even good at streaming it live because I think other ones they've done is the kind of after the show they edit it, they post. Apart from last year. Okay, so let's go into the papers of the day. Engineer, I think you take us through the paper.
That's not a problem. Let's start with the Vanguard. All right, I will start with the Punch. APC, PDP set stage
for the Vanguard already.
Epic,
no, I have just the Punch. Yeah, no.
Epic 2027.
Evening has not been able to impute the Vanguard.
We're going to be looking at the Punch. PDP, APC.
And yeah, sorry, which one are you starting? Are you starting with the Punch?
I'm starting with the Punch.
Okay.
Yes, APC, PDP set stage for Epic 2027 face-off. The rider says new APC chair, Yewada vows Tinubu's return. Makinde, Bala lead PDP governors in 2027 power takeover plot. Quite an interesting one. Yes, the stage is now set, Mary. Their conventions are going to be held. And once conventions are held, that means there's a leadership in place. And they start preparing. But it's sickening enough that nobody's talking about governance. Everybody's just talking about 2027. 2 years into a 4-year term, half time of a match that you are losing. You are saying, and you are in the quarterfinals. You are talking of playing in the finals. This happened to us in France '98. We're playing Denmark in the second round. We're not concentrating on Denmark. We're talking about playing Brazil in the quarterfinals, and we are not beating Denmark. We ended up losing 4-1 to Denmark, and we never got to play Brazil. So I think we should take the priorities one thing at a time. Is the convention, well, it might be a priority to them, but I've not seen any political party talking about governance, especially the party in power, the APC. They have not talked much about governance, but all the politicians are more concerned about 2027.
It's really sad.
It
The way governance is happening in Nigeria.
Now let's look at it. Yeah, it's very sad, though, my dears. It's quite unfortunate. Okay. The chief of defense staff in the rider on the top corner, Nigeria harbors over 200 million illegal arms. That means like 200 million people have one out of the 400. Over a chief of defense staff is saying Nigeria harbors over 200 million illegal arms. Who did it? Who carried it? Is it me? Is it me that carried it? Was it through water, by air, or by land? You name it. So it has to be held accountable. Is it our borders are porous? 200 million.
That means I have to be suspecting anybody.
Anybody, like I'm here, I'm not even trusting Evelyn can be carrying an arm. Because at this stage, we don't know. Half of the population seem to be armed, if I'm not mistaken. On top of that, you have Natasha to serve out suspension as Senate enters recess. Senate has gone to recess. That means the 6 months must be complete. So Natasha should wait till after the 6 months. Our politicians they are very wonderful.
My country.
I'm telling you, they will give you confusion. Don't let you go confused. Okay, since you are insisting you want to come, okay, we are going on recess. We'll come back after your suspension has elapsed. After the recess, we'll see. Well, however, she has jetted out to London on vacation with her husband. What an interesting one. Nigerian politics is if you are not careful. Still, there are 14 villagers, policemen killed in Plateau attacks. Killing every day. Not government. No one is making mention of these killings. In Plateau attacks, 14 villagers and policemen killed in Plateau attacks. 14 villagers and policemen.
If not that you're emphasizing on it, the news has been said. Do you see anybody complaining? It's as if they are now used to this killing. They are not yet.
It's as if they are not hearing it. States slashing power tariffs must pay subsidy. National Electricity Commission. The same states that are reducing tariff will pay subsidy. This country, we have suffered for them. Let's look at Makinde unveils new Oyo Tourist Hub master plan. That's on that bottom there. And of course, bottom right, on the middle, one of the writers goes that fake custom officer arraigned after scamming victims 34 million. Nigeria. Everybody, if Nigeria doesn't happen to you, Nigerians will happen to you. Fake, and they are so bold.
Fake
officer arraigned. And when you check it out, you see the guy in the uniform. We look so real, like a real custom officer. That's the kind of country we have found ourselves. Finally, APC power chairs. Yewada pick Brightons. Shetima Northeast 2027 chances. Well, this 2027, Mary, what is your look with what is going to happen? It's going to be very interesting. We'll just sit down in the studio and be talking about it because it's going to be a fight of power.
Yes. It's going to be a long time.
Everybody's rushing to APC. I'm telling you. A lot of postulations.
The person that is already there will still go back to his seat. I don't think anybody can.
It's going to be tough. That's why it's going to be interesting. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult with the kind of Nigeria where we are, and everybody. The people that are going to APC are not going to, because now there's something I was proving yesterday. You can be in your PDP or your Labour Party and still support the president since you say you love the president. Now you're not carrying your own party structure. Yes. Now you want to go and support the president because you love the vision of the president. You want everybody.
That's why I said they govern with loyalty.
It's all about their interest. Everybody is concerned. They have seen that the government in power.
Delta State Governor. If I see those state governors' attitude, it makes me laugh the more. That man is so funny. He just acting like
for Edo State governor, I cry.
As if he's not a governor of a state, like he is there to serve people. I want to make sure I deliver APC for Edo for APC 2027. I don't say like, is it that they put him there to work for them? Is it that he's not He's not independent on his own because I'm not understanding.
Well, that's the situation we found ourselves, my dear. It is their style. Look, it doesn't fit to be a counselor. If I'm community meet, yes, those kind of people that are community development union, the ones in the village, gone very remote village, is those kind of leaders. That's the look at his pronunciation, his diction, his style, his mannerism. Even an Agbero does not behave like that. A talk doesn't behave like. I'm so disappointed with the quality of leadership. If you are listening to the commissioner for information, that was worse. You could not ask a question. Specify. Arise was asking. Specify the location where this thing happened. He couldn't. I mean, you would know that it's more like a mockery of democracy. So look, when you stole something, you might not, and you don't have the manual, and you have lost. You didn't steal the manual, and you are not the owner. It will be difficult for you to. Yeah, you wouldn't know what to do. You might still go and look for the person that repairs it, who knows the owner, or the owner to come and help you with unknowingly. That's how you're going to get. Because that's the situation that we found ourselves, Mary. Quite unfortunate. I hope that the transformation that we preach every day on Arise and Shine is being held and is being followed. Maybe gradually, maybe with a lot of speed, but however, let them continue to hear the hues and cry of people about the kind of leadership that we're faced with in this country. Maybe one last word before we leave.
I'll say,
don't cry, maybe just say something. Don't cry.
No, nothing to cry here. Just that Nigeria's problem is so worrisome. But what I would say is,
all right,
managing our resources,
just like
the topic says, and our cultural heritage. The truth is, having this kind of resources that Nigeria has today, having the kind of rich culture we have, I think we should put them into good use. We should use them in the rightful way. We should use them and make something meaningful out of it. There's a way, just like what the engineer said, if we practice what we've been doing before, Nigeria will not be hungry. We will not have a bunch of jobless people. We will not have these people that are out there just to kill their fellow individuals. We will not have these people that are nothing to write home about. Because in all these sectors, we can fix people there to work. Even the farmlands that we're talking about as aided agriculture, in as much as we know that people are so scared to go to the farm business because of insecurity, now you can still see the killings in Plateau State. These are states that are helping with Nigerian-made food. You could see that in Plateau State, you can get fresh tomato, you can get Irish potato, like a whole lot of them. Foods that cheap in Plateau State. But with this kind of killing, how do you expect people to still boldly go to their farmlands? Is it possible? Same thing with Benue State. So what I would say is, if you are voting someone for 2027, vote your conscience. Put in somebody that will see Nigeria for not just Nigeria, but a power country that will be able, you understand, to make something good, that will be able to be developed, that will be able to have a more developed economy. See someone, put in somebody, vote in somebody for your conscience. Don't vote somebody because they're your tribe, not vote somebody because they're the same religion with you, or because they come from the same place you know. Vote in somebody because if they have that idea of what they should do there. It is one thing to say, I want to contest for being a president. It's another thing to understand what it means to be a president. It's another thing to understand what it means to be a governor. You're a governor. You have a lot of things to do in your states. I don't know why every time we keep calling on the president. They have a lot of things to do. Put people that have a clue of what they should do there. I think that is where I'll wrap up the show. Asaba, I think they have maybe a network or technical issue. Tomorrow, I'll be coming for the weekly bullets. Where we do a weekly review of everything that's happened within the week. I also have the Nigerian Weekly London that I'll be streaming for 1 p.m. tomorrow. See you tomorrow around 11 a.m. I remain your girl, Mira Lizzie. Bye.
Nigeria Week London 2025. It's time to celebrate the pulse of Africa's most exciting nation. It's coming to Hippodrome Theatre from July 24th to 26th, 2025, showcasing the best in Nigerian arts, music, fashion, and investment opportunities. Whether you're looking to discover the future of real estate, explore Nigeria's culinary masterpieces, or get immersed in an electric Afrobeat performance, this is the event of the year. You can also join us for a film festival, cultural dance spectacles, and the recognition awards. Don't miss out on the business opportunities and cultural experiences waiting for you. Book your tickets now before they're gone on eventbrite.co.uk. Call or text +447 438 893 190 or 080 330 46768 or +447 459 071 747. Visit our website superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week London 2025.